Hello, my name is Landon Carter, and I've been in the domain of transformation as a trainer and a coach for many decades. And today I wanted to just pass along some of my thoughts about how do you coach someone who is actually resisting being self-aware. Now, first of all, you should know that in order to do transformational coaching, you cannot coach someone who's unwilling to be self-aware. So how to get them from that to being willing to be self-aware? And the key is actually willing. Not that they're fully self-aware. That's not it. It's that they're actually willing. So what are they resisting? Well, basically, at this point, we're really talking about the contextual shift from victim to accountable, or from being a victim to being responsible. And what, in most instances, people are resisting is the fact that if they actually found out that they had something to do with it, they would have to blame themselves. And so they're resisting being blamed. And so you got to get past that. So as a coach, the first thing to do is actually be willing to go over to where they are. You see, they're suffering. They're in a lot of pain. And if you could go over to where they are compassionately and say, tell me about it. So you actually listen to the victim story. You just say, tell me about it. Tell me how bad it is. And you don't try to correct that in any way. You try to really get it. You try to really understand how they see it. And then you might ask them next, well, how do you feel about that? How does it feel to you to have that be the way life is for you? And they will tell you, I feel helpless, I feel hopeless, I feel powerless. And one of the things then is to, I'll check my notes here. Then the next thing to do is to say, okay, I got some good news for you and I got some bad news for you. You see, the bad news is that if you want to recover your power, you actually have to find out how you're creating what it is that you actually have in your life. In other words, this story you've just told me, you're going to have to look at it from somehow a different perspective to see how, in fact, you are creating that mess, that thing you don't want in your life. But the good news is, if you can find out how you're actually creating it, you can actually change and shift. You can shift to a new way of being, and a new way of being will produce different results in your life. So from taking on, being willing to be responsible, being willing to look at yourself in terms of how am I actually creating this reality, you regain your power. And in that place, you have the freedom of choice and you have the power, which you've regained, to create a new reality. The only way to discover that, and the route, is self-awareness. So it's unavoidable. If a person is then willing to take this on, the route is self-awareness. And one of the things that we can do, John Hanley and I, is to assist you in being a coach so that you can be a more evolved person, a more masterful coach in this whole domain of transformation. We look forward to working with you.